Today I'm going to talk to you about what the kiddos are learning right now regarding rounding and estimation. Right now they've learned how to round using a special process called the rounding hills, and then they learn how to put rounding and apply it to real life situations, such as this one, to estimate to find non-exact answers. Now, in a problem like this, Logan found 729 pennies in 1 year and 189 pennies in the previous year. About how many more pennies did Logan find this year than last? I always tell the kiddos to start by making sure that they've identified if there is a rounding word like about or approximately, and then they work to put the number sentence that would go with the problem if it was an exact question, just to refer to. Now from there, the kiddos can see that this problem does not tell them to round to the tens or to the hundreds. So they would have to look in context and see if which one would be needed or which one they think would be most appropriate. A lot of times the tens would be because it's the more exact or more closer to the exact answer. Other times what I tell them to do is just look at the answer choices and to see if the answers end in double zeros or just a zero, and that can kind of give them a hint too as to what they're looking for. I'm going to show you both today. The first one I'm going to show you is rounding to the 100s place. So we're going to take what we call our rounding hill, and we're looking at our first number of 729, and we're going to ask for the 100 before and the 100 after 729. So that would be 700 and 800, and I have them find the middle as well. And then they would plot where 729 falls there. So it would round to 700, and out beside it they're going to change 189, first 100 and the second 100. Therefore 189 would fall in between this. The middle would be 150, and 189 would be down here. So it would round to 200. From here they write their new number sentence and check to see that it makes sense when looking at the exact number sentence, and that gives us 500. That's rounding to the hundreds place. If they needed to round to the tens, and again they look at tens as the closer to the real answer, then they would see which two tens numbers this number would fall between. So that would be 720 and 730. I always tell them to find the halfway again, just as a little extra help. And once they start doing this process goes very quickly. So 729 would be right here, round to 730. Do the exact same thing with 189. 180 and 190 would be the tens. 185, 189 would be here. And then it would round to 190. Then they would just take 730 minus 190. And a lot of kiddos can see that it would be much easier to subtract 200 here. So they might choose to do that in helping them, since this is rounding and it's supposed to be easier for them. So 730 minus 190 would be 540. Now, they also look at a process called compatible numbers, which is just looking to see if they can change anything to make it easier to round. So a lot of kiddos might actually choose to take 730 minus 200 to give them that 530. And we look at a lot of different scenarios and see that there's not always one that we always use, but there's many.